A Philadelphia man is now speaking out about how convincing these AI scams can be. Attorney Gary Schildhorn says in 2020, he got a call from his son Brett, who had told him he had been arrested after being in a car accident.
He was crying. He said, "Dad, I was in an accident. I hit another car being driven by a pregnant woman. My nose is broken. They arrested me. I'm in jail. Bail was set at $90,000. You need to post 10%, $9,000 to bail him out."
It turns out the phone call was actually artificial intelligence impersonating his son. Gary says when he realized it was a scam, he became shocked and angry. Joining us now is Gary Schildhorn. Gary, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you for inviting me, Kelsey.
Gary, the moment I saw your video, I had to send it to everyone in my family so they can be wary of these scammers out there. They seem so real. What was going through your mind as a father when you received this call?
As a father, as a lawyer, my son was hurt. He hurt a pregnant woman. He was in jail. I was in action mode. I had to help my son. That was the only thing that was going through my mind when I got that call.
Well, that moment, you knew it was a scammer. You were almost about to pay $9,000. What were you thinking?
When my son finally called me and I learned it was a scam, I was in shock. I sat motionless in my car and I said over and over again, "It was your voice, Brett. It was your voice." And that left me in a state of both surprise and shock.
It really is frightening what AI can do. You also said that many other people came forward being kind of dubbed by the same scammer's name. How did that make you feel?
When this happened to me, there was no remedy for people that have been targeted by this scam. There's no legal remedy, and there doesn't appear to be a law enforcement remedy. So my reaction was to go public, and I approached the Philadelphia newspapers who ran a feature article on this. My goal is that if you educate people about these scams, they can avoid them. And I was very, very satisfied to find out that that article had been read by people and then picked up and resulted in my testimony, which has now been shared many millions of times, making people aware of the scam.
Well, do you believe that you are actually one of the lucky ones because you didn't go through sending that money to the scammer?
I do, and I know for certain by seeing the comments to the video that many people have sent money and they're mortified, they're embarrassed, they're physically and emotionally hurt by the scam that they fell for.
Well, you also testified before Congress asking for legislative change. Why do you think it is important that there needs to be regulations on the use of AI?
You have a system that has lost its guardrails. When you're hurt, generally the American system allows you to have a remedy that's either through the legal process or through law enforcement. When you're using AI and cryptocurrency and burner phones, these criminals have a risk-free platform. They can't be found. And without legislation to remedy that, it's an issue. It's a foundation that we depend on has been broken. So I was hoping that the Senate would act, and I think Senator Casey is trying to do that through his committee, which is where I testified.
Gary Schildhorn, thank you for sharing your story. It takes courage to do that, and thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.